Hi everyone, and welcome to our last art prompt for the Compassion Project Presents Art for Resilience. This week's theme is based on collective compassion. This project is all about sharing art and sharing compassion through the skills that we've cultivated through this Art for Resilience program. How do we manage to do this in consideration of social distancing? This last project has many options, all with the goal of sharing compassion artistically to our larger community. This prompt allows us for a lot of freedom, and I will be giving you a few options to create something that can be a public piece of art to share with your community, that can be experienced while being socially distanced. The first step is thinking about who it is that you want to connect with through this project. Who do you want to demonstrate the compassion that you've learned through this program? Is it your neighborhood? Maybe you'd like to decorate your sidewalk with sidewalk chalk for passerbys to see and give a smile. Maybe you'd like to decorate the window in your home with a nice message for those walking by. You can do this by using window paint, using colored paper to make a collage-like piece that looks like stained glass. Maybe you'd like to make a sign that spreads a nice message. Maybe you want to send thank yous to our essential workers, those who are on the front lines, in care facilities, grocery store clerks. Again, this project has a lot of freedom, and it's all about sharing compassion and the skills that we've cultivated through this program. For me, it's been really important to consider our elderly population since they're immune compromised, and those who are living in assisted living and care facilities have not been able to receive their typical visitors. And I imagine they're feeling very lonely and isolated during these times. So I chose to create a sign to display outside these care facilities in hopes of bringing a smile, a sense of relaxation, and an acknowledgement that our community cares about those who are feeling lonely. Materials for this project, again, here will vary since I'm giving you the freedom to create whatever it is you'd like to share with the larger community. But like I said, I'm choosing to create a sign that can be displayed outside a care facility or in my front lawn for those passing by. Things to consider when making it is that it's weatherproof. We want it to be able to be durable and be able to last. Also, make sure that if you're using words or leaving a message that it will be legible. You will also to make sure that your sign can be properly inserted strongly into the ground. So either using a wooden post or metal as well. So a checklist of materials that I've chosen to use is a durable poster board. I went out to Michael's and I chose this plastic poster board. This will be able to be weatherproof, and I'm also going to laminate it as well, just to be certain. But think about making a wood sign, and maybe you want to spray paint using a stencil or some foam core, just something that's more durable than just a plain old poster board. For my message, I have paper letters that I chose. They also make these in stickers, and again, you can use a stencil. I also have laminate. This is sold in a roll at Michael's, and that way I can laminate my poster once I get all my letters put in place. For other decorations, I just cruised the aisles at Michael's to see something that was cost efficient and also weatherproof. So they always have awesome sales there. So I decided to get some flowers, some fake flowers that will last outside. And then I also got just a few little wooden trinkets that should be weatherproof as well. The key is to making sure our signs can stick in the ground. So I also have some metal wire that I'm going to attach to the bottom of my sign to make sure it's nice and stable. If you're using pre-bought letters, make sure that you have all the letters that you need for your message. It's important to lie them all out and keep them organized so you make sure you have the letters for the words you want to spell. Once you've decided on your message, make sure to lay your letters out before you glue them onto your sign to make sure everything is spaced evenly and the message is clearly read.
was lost. We said it was okay, but we knew it was not. Started out as a foolish game, pretending there was no...
Once you've got your letters glued down, as you can see here, the next step is to making it weatherproof. Again, I bought a roll of homemade or home-used laminate from Michael's, and I will demonstrate how to use that. It's easiest just to do little sections at a time, and as you're lying it down, try to pull the laminate underneath to try to avoid as many wrinkles as you can. You want to make sure that's nice and flat. And then there you can see we have laminate. So another thing that you want to do is just to make sure it's on there good. So use a little bit of a hard surface. You can use, let's say a credit card. I'm using a little wooden thing just to make sure everything's nice and stuck down. And then make sure to seal your sides as well. Once you've got your poster laminated, you can use the additional decorations that you may have to begin decorating it. And so I used these little wooden features, and I just have some mounting tape that I've placed on the back and placed on the sign. And those are really nice and stuck on there. The poster board that I chose also has little grooves. And so that's why I decided to use the flowers, because I'm able to just stick the flowers right in the top or the sides of the sign to give it a little extra pop. So I went down to Ace Hardware and I found these poles in the gardening aisle. And then I also got an outdoor tape, double-sided tape that holds up to 15 pounds. And so I'm gonna use this double-sided tape to put these long posts on the back of the poster, and so it has a little bit more support.
Hi everyone, Noelle here with a fun project to connect you to others in the time of social distancing. Sharing stories is a great way to connect communities. Today we're going to make a postcard that you can send to the elderly care homes in your community, and that can then connect the elderly to the essential workers who care for them. First, you'll want to start with a stiff piece of paper. Mine is 5 by 7 inches. Using a pencil, create 3 rectangles about 2 by 3 inches. Below the rectangles, draw 5 horizontal lines. Above the first rectangle, write "My Story." Above the second rectangle, write "Your Story." Above the third rectangle, write "An Essential Story." In the first box, draw an important part of your story. This could be about something you did during quarantine or about an important moment in your life that you want to share with others. For mine, I used markers to draw a picture of the craft kits I made for college students to work on while quarantining. On the lines I wrote, "During quarantine, I made craft kits for students. It allowed us to stay connected creatively." In the second box, the person you're mailing the postcard to can draw and write a part of their story. They can then pass it along to an essential caregiver to tell part of their story. The postcards can then be displayed for visitors to read about all the ways our stories connect us. I hope you enjoy this project. Don't forget to include a message on the back to the person you're sending your postcard to, a place to put the address, and a stamp.
So I want to wrap up what we've learned through this project. The goal of this project is to demonstrate compassion to our larger community. Through this Art for Resilience program, we've been working on mindfulness, acknowledging our emotions, cultivating play through rest, ideas of self-care, and this final project is figuring out how we share these ideas with our larger community. How do we demonstrate compassion and all the things that we've learned? So doing what we can, sharing compassion through ways that are socially distanced is the point of this project. I'm so eager to see what you come up with, and I know that your community will be so appreciative. I want to sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart for subscribing to Compassion Project's Art for Resilience program. I hope that you've had a chance to learn about your creative self and that you're able to share what you've learned with the greater community. It's so important. We thank you so much. Keep creating and keep spreading compassion.